Vamos a ver. Se requiere de un objeto. ¿Pero el qué?
According to the...
Me falta un objeto y no sé cuál es.
My archive. I can always consult with it.
Uy. Elucubraciones del Strait. Señor Holmes, le escribo para informarle de que el asunto de Abbey Grenge, que tuvo lugar hace casi ya medio año, aún resuena en la alta sociedad y está sujeto a rumores continuos. El trasfondo sentimental del caso ha atraído a muchos pretendientes que muestran su intención de dar cobijo y apiadarse de Lady Bergenstall. Pero por el momento ella sigue cumpliendo sentencia con su doncella Teresa y ha rechazado toda oferta de ayuda. Para ser sincero, sospecho que la verdadera motivación de todos esos pretendientes bien puede ser el título y el dinero de Sir Eustace. ¿Qué conclusiones saca usted, señor Holmes? Atentamente, la Esta. Times. Un escándalo colosal azota la alta sociedad. El célebre y notable arqueólogo Sir Rodney Redcliffe, orgullo de nuestra nación, ha sido hallado muerto. El asesino tuvo lugar en los baños romanos de Stan Lane, el lugar donde el arqueólogo llevaba a cabo su más reciente investigación, por lo que su amigo y colega Percival Blinton, sentencia de muerte, el único. Estos son los de los casos anteriores. El poder del imperio crece cada día. ¿Qué pasa? Ayer mismo el consorcio mexicano Caracal se unió a la causa del imperio británico. Este acuerdo es sin duda beneficioso para Londres y toda Inglaterra en un gran logro de nuestra sección comunidad diplomacia. En el orden de los casos, el tren desapareció misteriosamente en cuanto se dirigía de Sirat. El grotesco asesinato del antiguo capitán Peter Carey, conocido en determinados círculos como Peter el Negro, ha quedado resuelto. Las pruebas de Scotland Yard recibió de una fuente de confianza son más que suficientes para probar que el asesinato de Peter Carey fue Pablo Coventrao, uno de los arponeros de Carey. Sin embargo, no ha podido hacerse justicia. Coventrao fue hallado muerto por sus causas naturales, probablemente consecuencia de sus remordimientos por haber cometido un crimen tan horrible. Ya nos dejan.
This is where I keep my post.
Y por aquí
My archive.
por aquí no hay nada. Esto creo que es lo de Watson, ¿no? O no, ni idea. Me falta un maldito...
A map of London and the surrounding...
Voy a ir al del gremio divino a ver si es que me deja algo por ahí. No sé si me he dejado algún ítem por ahí, alguna cosilla. Bueno, no lo entiendo. Por aquí a lo mejor. Está todo examinado. No sé, algo me he tenido que perder por ahí. Tengo que coger cocaína de aquí a lo mejor. Es que no hay nada más por aquí que pueda pueda coger. O sea, es simplemente probar la cocaína. Ay, espérate que aquí hay otra puerta. Tú, esta me la he dejado.
This door is locked.
Vale, me he dejado esta puerta. Vale, vamos a ver. Primero... Vale. Vale, esto tiene que ir ahí. Ahí está, perfecto.
These instruments are used for smoking opium. This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
Aquí está lo que me faltaba. Me faltaba esto, claro.
This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments. A vast amount of opium.
Ahora sí puedo hacer el experimento. Vale, joder, me quedaba esta habitación por registrar. Menos mal que me ha dado por mirar ahí, que si no...
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask. This is a strange and unusual plant. It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. I find the behavior of predators utterly fascinating.
Vale, tiene que ser esto y esto, sí.
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
Vale, y si... No. A ver si consigo hacerlo.
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding.
No, eso es solo el alfiler. Vamos a ver si la abro y le lleno de orugas, a lo mejor.
This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. This plant...
Dios.
Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary. The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Vale. Plan de la secta. El divino gobierno dejó las plantas en los Kew Gardens para matar a muchos en otro momento. La secta no está involucrada. Yo creo que la secta no está involucrada. La secta no está involucrada. Ojalá fuese la secta, pero no va a ser la secta. Vale, antes de realizar el experimento en la sala de la colección colonial, habla con todos los sospechosos sobre el asesinato. No, me he equivocado. Vale. Me pone que hable con todos los sospechosos. No sé si con el otro debería de hablar o no.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious. Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa, something, or Lear, Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Pues estoy ahora a ver si mirando el tema de los tiempos. Lo voy a tener que revisar. También que va a ser la chica esta la que... A ver.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
Para mí que va a ser el hombre el que lo mató. El chico no, el hombre. Porque desde su despacho podía ver eso. Desgraciadamente me parece a mí que ni la chica ni el chico... Venga, coño, avanza.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
No, pero quiero ver... Yo quiero enterarme... no, estoy saliendo por mal sitio. Era por el otro lado. Bueno, da igual, salgo por aquí. Me he liado. Falta un objeto que es el 320.
Here it is. Cylinder records.
Vale.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us. I don't hear anything.
Vale, así que la señorita esta no pudo ser. Pues va a tener que ser entonces el hombre. No creo que haya sido el hijo. A mí que ha sido el hombre. El hijo, no sé, por mucho que le ha jodido más al hombre este.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
Están por el otro lado. Bueno, me da igual.
First of all, I need to visit the Colonial Collection Room to see how those caterpillars dropped onto the deadly
Joder,
plant.
sí, seguro. Como la hostia.
Nursery. Colonial Collection.
Quítate. Gracias. Joder, que es tonto,
Dry Tropics.
Venga, coño. Joder, es que eso de que lo lea. Este está siendo larguito, Este está ahí.
The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. The power is on. The engine cannot be started whilst the transmission is active. The engine has started. The power is on.
No.
The ventilation system is working. Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Albert sabía cómo estimular las plantas letales. Yo creo que no. El chaval no sabe nada. Albert no es muy buen botánico. Es dudoso que pudiera aprender el mecanismo de dispersión de esporas letales de las plantas. Falta de experiencia, White. La formación universitaria de la señorita White podría no ser suficiente para garantizar que las plantas letales reaccionaran a la forma esperada. La oportunidad de Martin. Martin Hamish tuvo la oportunidad de estimular a las plantas letales en la sala de la colección colonial. Como biólogo habría entendido el proceso necesario para ello. Hamish es culpable. Martin Hamish podría ser el asesino. Tuvo la oportunidad de robar las plantas del divino gremio y estimularlas desde su despacho, justo después de encerrar a Montague Dunn en la sala de colección colonial. Arrestar a... efectuar el arresto. Pero hay algo que no cuadra aquí, ¿no? Hay algo que falta todavía.
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
A ver. Ponerse en contacto con la Strand para que arreste a Martin Hamish. El cilindro que grabó la señorita White parece que dura bastante, lo que prueba que permaneció en su laboratorio el día del crimen. A ver. A las 10 y 10. Aunque tengo que hablar con este. Hablar, o sea, leer otra vez esto. Tiene pinta de que ha sido este al final. Vamos a ver. Vale. 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 ¿Vio al señor Montas el día de su muerte? Sí, claro. Me reuní con él y fuimos a ver a su hijo Albert a eso de las 9:30. Estaba tranquilo. Tranquilo. Después de visitar unas cuantas veces a Albert, tuve una pequeña conversación con la señorita White. Luego volví a mi despacho para terminar unos papeleos. De repente me fijé en el señor Van. Es que ha sido este. Ha sido este. Tengo que ir a Scotland Yard, ¿no? Es que ha sido este, vamos. La cosa es que no me sale que haya sido el asesino. Me ha salido la chica. Pero la chica tiene la excusa del gramófono. Así que...
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
Pero es muy raro, todavía no... Hay algo que no cuadra, ¿no? Porque no me ha salido lo de que es el asesino. Solo me ha salido este. Algo más tiene que haber.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Farmhouse.
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
No, no ha sido él. Está claro que no ha sido. Vamos, no. Ah, vale, está aquí.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
Un pie varo. La vida se ha convertido en un infierno. La encuentro insoportable. Doom merecía morir, pero no puedo perdonarme por tener las manos manchadas de sangre. Parece que los Hamis siempre han sido víctimas de las circunstancias y yo no soy la excepción. Debo espiar mi culpa y lo haré aquí y ahora. Adiós.
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Es que lo del pie no lo entiendo.
Holmes, his left shoe
Un
is
zapato izquierdo
unique.
es peculiar.
This anomaly is often a characteristic.
Característica de
A club foot.
un pie varo.
Bravo, Watson.
¿Qué
That
es un
is the
pie varo?
key
Vale,
element
vamos
of this
a buscar
case.
qué es un pie varo. No tengo ni idea de lo que es un pie varo. Pie varo. Vale, joder, Dios. Pero quiero saber lo que es un pie varo. Son aquellos que orientan la planta del pie hacia adentro, apoyando el borde externo, los últimos dedos, que normalmente... O sea, que andaba como raro. Vale, pie varo, confesión de Martín. Actuó Hamis solo. Martin Hamis no podía correr debido a la torsión de la tibia producida por su pie varo. Por tanto, hemos de averiguar si tuvo tiempo suficiente para cerrar la puerta de la sala de la colección colonial y activar el sistema de ventilación. ¿Tuvo un cómplice? Hablar con el Strain. Barajar con el Strain el posible impacto de nuevas pruebas halladas en el cadáver de Hamis.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Vale, bien. Vale, vamos a ver. Vale, Martin Hamish y Montage Dunn fueron a ver a Albert en el semillero a eso de las 9:30. Vale. No. Ahí, vale. Martin, Hamish y Montas fueron a ver a Albert a eso de Albert en el semillero a las 9:30. Vale. Eran alrededor de las 10 menos 20 cuando Hamish y Montas Dunn salieron al patio trasero. 10 minutos después, Dunn continuó con su inspección y entró en la sala del clima tropical. Hamish volvió al... Martin Hamish mantuvo una conversación con la señorita White a las 10 en punto. La señorita White estuvo en el laboratorio hasta las 11 menos 20. Y cuando vio a Hamish y a Albert en el invernadero de los nenúfares, se reunió con ellos.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Hombre, a mí yo creo que fue ella. Cronología de White. Y ya está, ¿no? No tengo nada más, ¿no? A ver, Albert no está involucrado. Martin Hamish y Albert no son cómplices. Es poco probable que Albert tuviera la oportunidad de cerrar la sala de la colección colonial. Si la hubiera tenido 10 minutos no bastaría para hacerlo. White tuvo tiempo. La señorita White tuvo 20 minutos, tiempo suficiente para encerrar a Montague. Pudo haber cerrado la puerta y avisado a Martin para que activara el sistema de ventilación. White es cómplice. Margaret Wall fue cómplice de Martin Hamish en el asesinato de Montague Dunn. Su ambición profesional y su situación personal se habían deteriorado por su ruptura con Dunn. La señorita White es una mujer peligrosa, muy capaz de llevar a cabo un asesinato elaborado para su beneficio económico. Filtreó con el hijo de Dunn, Albert, y más tarde empujó a Martin Hamish al suicidio. Se merece la horca. La señorita White es una mujer desesperada, con deudas, resignada a rodearse de hombres ricos. Cuando Dunn la abandonó, su vida quedó interrumpida. Lo mató como respuesta a su desesperación. Martin intentó salvarla. Se merece una segunda oportunidad. A mí me faltan algunas pistas, ¿no? Yo creo que me falta alguna pista. Me debe de faltar alguna cosilla por ahí o algo. Pero, míralo, aquí me falta algo. Aquí le debe de avisar, se va, esta debe de aprovechar.
Let us summarize. Must out miss. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Me debe de quedar por ahí alguna pista, seguramente. Bueno, pero vamos a terminar con el caso. Condenar a la señorita White. Vamos a ver que si la condeno.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over? Perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop! I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Joder, no me ha dado ni tiempo. Dios, no me ha dado ni tiempo. Lo he visto y siempre...
This is tragic, Holmes.
Are you able to do anything?
I'm afraid not. The poison has been fulgurating. Her heart stopped instantly, poor child.
22, sí, vale, está bien, pero quiero repetir al final. Joder, es que ha sido un plan de... hola. La salvaremos y que pague por ello.
But
Así, bla, 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 bla.
So, I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Uno más.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Ya está.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Venga. Buscador de la justicia. Gente que ha solucionado el caso del mismo modo, el 91. Gente que hizo la misma elección moral, el 76%. Pues ya está. Lo vamos a dejar aquí, ¿vale, gente? Yo creo que ya es bastante por hoy. Nos queda un solo caso más, que ya si eso mañana o el lunes. Ya veré a ver cuándo hago el directo cuándo continúo haciendo directo el juego. Así que nada, gente.